When I die, the words that they will very likely write on my tombstone is, time is not your most valuable asset. For whatever reason, given how frequently I say those damn words, it's pretty much the hill I'm willing to die on. It's probably what I'll be most remembered for, because I do not believe time is your most valuable asset at all. When you hear people say that, it's wrong. It's wrong because time is not this thing that occurs in any kind of objective reality. Your perception of time is different than mine. Time is not something I can give you. When I say, hey, can you give me 2 minutes of your time? I can't actually give you my time. Now, we use this as a construct, a model for understanding the finite nature of our humanity. We're going to die eventually. And so we say, you only have so much time left. But I like to go back to the first principles, the building blocks. What do you actually run on? What is your life the product of? And your life is nothing more than the product of the energy you deploy. If you have no energy, you have no life. You're dead, or you're a rock, right? If you have abundant energy and you're directing it towards things that matter, you have a fantastic life. Life is good, right? Now, here's the thing that I've noticed about really high performers versus everybody else, and how they use their energy. There's two things in particular that I want to talk about. Now, what a lot of people think the difference is between peak performers and how they use energy is that they think they deploy their energy towards activities that have the highest leverage. That's what most people go to and they think about. And there's truth in that, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But the first thing that I've noticed that they do differently, and this is just as critical, if not more, is that they don't waste energy. The top performers do not waste energy. So the first thing I want you to think about, the first lesson here, is that you have to reduce the activation energy required to get started. Now, activation energy, this is one of my favorite mental models from physics and chemistry. It's the amount of energy required to take an object and change its state. So take it from being at rest and moving it forward to initiating a chemical reaction. And that's usually quite a lot amount of energy relative to the amount of maintenance energy required to keep the thing moving, right? Once an object's in motion, stays in motion, but you need a lot of motion or a lot of energy to get it into motion, right? That's activation energy. And the thing that I've noticed with people who never really seem to move forward in life, never seem to accomplish their goals, or they don't get as much done in their day as they could, is that they spent so much energy throughout their day not starting. They spent a lot of energy thinking about doing the thing or preparing to do the thing, but not actually doing the thing, because that first little bit, it's so hard. It's hard to get over the inertia of not having forward momentum and progress, right? And so most of us, we have an idea and we wait before we take action. The peak performers, they recognize that waiting, that time between, is a waste of energy. And if you think about your life as a certain amount of energy blocks that you have to strategically deploy over the course of a day, say you have 100 blocks of energy. Well, if you waste 3 of those blocks between when you have an idea and when you took action, right? Not taking action or planning or doing some other mental masturbation that kind of disguised itself as making progress when in fact you just weren't, right? That person who wasted 3 energy blocks before they got started is going to be further behind than the person who didn't use any energy blocks. They had the idea and they immediately took action. They didn't procrastinate. They didn't wait. So that person, though they both have the same amount of energy in the day, it's not even that they are focusing on activities that have higher leverage. It's simply that they reduced the time between when they had idea and when they took action. That was it. They deployed the activation energy instantaneously rather than delaying and then deploying. That's lesson number 1. Decrease the amount of time between idea and execution, and I promise you will achieve better results. The second idea is that you need to optimize your maintenance energy, right? So it takes the activation energy to get our asses in the gear to get moving forward. Everything after that is quite a lot easier, but you have to optimize that maintenance energy. Otherwise, you will easily get off path. You will get sucked into social media rabbit holes and to all sorts of distractions, right? And so the idea here that I want to plant into your mind today is that you need to stop watering fake plants. And this is critical because the way that I see people wasting the most amount of energy is that they do things with excellence that don't need to be done at all. Right. And so you had this great idea and you started taking action, and then you started taking action on the wrong part of it. Right. It's like, I want to start a business. And so you went and started working on the logo. And it's like, cool. A business exists to deliver a product or service to somebody else in exchange for money. What does the logo do? Is the logo actually getting you any closer to having a product, a customer, or money in the bank? Not really. right? It's one of those fake plants that in the moment you look at and you're like, look, I'm playing the game of business. This is important. And it's not. If you look at what's the fundamental of the business, get a customer, deliver a product, collect a fee. That's what you need. Do you need the logo for that? It might help, but it's not one of the 3 critical activities, right? And so when you have the idea, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to sell this product, you take action right away. Reduce the activation energy. Get your ass into gear. Number 2, don't waste time watering fake plants. Do the things that will actually move you forward. Go find the customer. Go knock on a door. Go slide into a DM. Offer the product or service that you have, whatever that might be, even if it's not ready yet. And then take money for it. Take payment. And once you have that, huzzah, you now have a business. And as you start growing and you get forward momentum, if you have more customers than you can service, then you can start taking that money. You can start hiring people. If you're still struggling to convert people, then you can start looking at a logo. Maybe you need to be more professional. Maybe you need a website, right? Maybe that'll help your conversion rates, but it's not one of the fundamental critical activities at the very beginning. And that right there, my friends, is what separates the top performers, the peak performers, the people at the very, very top of the game, and how they deploy their energy, and all the rest of us. So take that, run with it. I will see you guys in the next episode.